interesting things that you'll see Chris do right now, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that, is Chris will do a lot of what I call probative entry positions. He'll enter a small size position and just see how the market is acting, right? You'll have a thesis, you'll see how the market is acting, and then you may actually add small size if it goes against you up to a certain level to just kind of watch. One of the things you were telling me about before when we were talking before the show is that you had one of the greatest trades last year in Aussie Kiwi, where you traded it for like $100,000 profit over a 4-month period. And can you just run us quickly through how you traded that pair and the main thesis for why you traded that pair?
Sure. Let me bring it up here. Actually, I'll keep it. Let me open up on 8cap. I'll make Martin happy.
Sure.
All right, let's find Aussie New Zealand here. It's pretty easy to see on the daily chart. So let's go to the daily. Let's get rid of this grid candlestick. Shift this over. Okay, so let's go back to, this is the trade right here. So I'll just highlight it. If everyone can see, this is the area that I'm focused on. And so what was created was we had some consolidation and the Aussie New Zealand right up here. And when I saw this break down, I was interested in buying it starting here and just leveling myself in with, like Boris said, the small trade sizes. And so that was essentially my thesis. I'm going to start here. I'm going to level myself in at major support, and I'm going to work my way down to, and this is 2020. So we're talking about a 5 and 6 year period of support. And so I had levels from 105 and 104 and 103 and 102 and 101. And I didn't get filled at 1.00 because it was just off of those lows during that COVID crash in March. But what I did do is these were all of what I just call test trades. You know, yes, I wanted to be long, and my target the whole time I'm getting long in the Aussie New Zealand was right here. That little inefficiency, that pocket on it was an RBNZ rate decision, or it was something where we just created this really nice inefficiency. So that was going to be my profit target. So I'll circle this in green. And that was going to be my destination to take profit eventually on the trade. So let me get this all green. There we go. So this is going to be my profit. So what ended up happening was I get filled small, I get filled small, I get filled small, I get filled small. And, you know, I run a trading room, and I had a bunch of traders who are like, Chris, is this thing going to turn? I'm like, hey, if you don't like it, then you can get out of the trade. But when we saw this bottom, what I started to do was put buy stops, buy stops, buy stops, buy stops, buy stops. And I built myself back into this position. Once I cleared this level and everything was going my way, I just sat and held all of my positions until it hit profit. And so what started off as 4 or 5 trades ended up being like close. I had 18 trades running long. And that's when I closed out here once we hit that 107, 107.50 level.
Hey, Chris, can I ask you, those yellow levels that you drew, you had bought on each one of those?
Correct. They were all pending. So I was in, you know, I'll go back to yellow, like you said, so it makes it easier.
Like, to summarize, Chris was limit buys
on
the downside, and when it turned, he became buy stop
buys.
Wait a second. So when you say limit buy, it was going against me. It was pending orders. Nope, pending orders when they're falling. Right. So let's start over. So it's like I had when this was created. Okay, when this was created, I'm like, let's see if I can get filled here if price falls, and it did. So I got filled level 1, and then my next level is right here, and I had pending buy at all these levels, and so I'm filled on all these trades. Then once we had our bottom, I switch over and I say, and I tell traders this a lot. There are multiple ways in which I'm willing to add to a trade. One is I'll just put a buy stop in. If I'm convinced, and again, I'm convincing myself if it's going my way, I'll put a buy stop in and just say, you know what, if it goes 50 pips, I'll get in. If it goes another 50 pips, I'll get in. And so that way it's not like I'm looking for pullbacks, I'm looking at Fibonacci's, I'm looking at trend line breaks. It's like if it's going to go up, I just want to get in. And so that's what I ended up doing is every 50 pips, I started separating buy stop levels and just got back in. And so this is price is going my way, price is going my way. And I just rode this thing as long as I could until this pocket was filled. And that's where I took profit. So it was, like I said, testing the small levels and then adding to the winner. So was that your profit level from the beginning? That was where you wanted it to go.
Yep.
You know, and that's great. So it just takes, that's a really good way to do it. It just takes a lot of patience, lot of patience.
Did the same thing there.
People struggle.
Did the same thing there. I mean, this pair has been really good to me. Like, I mean, So again, hopefully it's not something that all of a sudden backfires on me, but I don't think, using daily and weekly charts and historical 5-6 year support resistance levels is pretty strong. So that's why we were talking about this before the show started. I was curious to see, does this Aussie New Zealand have the ability to do something like this? Let me change the color here, make it a little bit easier to see. Is it going to do like, do we have this run? Is this trying to make some type of corrective move here? Maybe it's a harmonic pattern. If that's the case, I'll be looking to buy in this area and take this back up into some type of structure. When in fact, this last week, I was like getting really excited about it, because if I zoom in, okay, can we see this candle right here? I was like pumped. I was thinking this is going to be a great trade. Here we go again. I'm going to build up another position to target that RBNZ rate decision, but we turned right back around. So I was long at 106.30 and I took profit this week on it. But I was going to build a position to target that same candle. Instead, it just ended up paying me this week.